Everybody say, ah. Say, oh, oh. Say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle.
And we are live. Good afternoon to you. Another Saturday is here with us. And the community and the law, obviously, is coming your way again by courtesy of BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. BWF Solicitors this afternoon is going to help us to look at the situation where if you would want to make a fee waiver application, what the implications are, and how it can make you an overstayer, in what circumstances. We'll be answering that question. There are updates we have had during the week, and also your rights as a citizen of the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the community and the law.
Hello. There are several questions in the community when it comes to the law, especially with the immigration matters. That is why I'm inviting you to join us on the program, The Community and the Law, live on BWTV and brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. We are going to have a very massive discussion on some of the issues of immigration matters that bother you. and they have the opportunity to meet you live on the program to explain to you all the updates that have come from the Home Office and also address your questions and concerns that you might have when it comes to the law. The Community and the Law is brought to you every Saturday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. We're live on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, at BWF Solicitors, at BWTV, and of course, we urge you to share the program and invite others to join us. Remember, it's at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday, live on BWTV. You have your questions. There are answers. So join us, learn, and empower yourself on the program, The Community and the Law. So pick up the phone and dial 0208 493 7345, or you can send a text 07950 422 780. It's The Community and the Law. My name is Oreku Frimpon, and I am your host.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us. And I want to believe that you have registered your presence on our Facebook page, BWF Solicitors, BWTV, and of course also on our YouTube page, BWF Solicitors and BWTV. My name is Oreku Frimpon, and I have the singular honor of hosting this program and also welcoming you to join as well. So we have the wonderful discussion we have every Saturday afternoon between 4 and 6 p.m. brought to you by BWF Solicitors. The program is The Community and the Law. This afternoon, we're looking at a situation where people are given the option to ask the Home Office to waive the fee for any application. But how do you do that and stay on the right hand side of the law? We'll be looking at that very shortly. And then again, we will be looking at your rights. What are your rights when it comes to immigration and legal matters? And then again, some updates as well. It's all on the program, The Community and the Law. And I would dare say again, brought to you by BWF Solicitors. Now, earlier in the week, we had our nuggets, and that's what BWF Solicitors does every week. At the beginning of the working week, they throw out a piece of information that will help you know what the situation is when it comes to, especially immigration matters here in the UK. And people have benefited from that. One of such persons is Belinda, who says that I thought all hope was lost. Lawyer Charles Asma came through for me and made my visa application much easier and a successful one. Good work done, BWF solicitors. Well, I'll tell you, so many people are having the benefit of enjoying the good things and the success stories of BWF solicitors, and I want you to be one of them. So I'll ask you that if you have any issue with any legal matter, your immigration applications, appeals, and all the rest of it, call BWF solicitors, and they will answer your call and come to your aid as well. 0208 493 7340 and the emergency number 077 127 61884. BWF solicitors, they work Monday to Friday between 9:30 in the morning and 6 p.m. in the evening. So you can trust that you will get them. And if you want to meet them over the weekend, you have to book an appointment and we'll make arrangements for that. I have said in the past that they understand your language. They speak most of the African languages, especially the Ghanaian languages, Twi, Ga, English, Fanti, and the rest of it. So if you have any challenge with language and you cannot express yourself, speak your language. BWF solicitors will come to your aid. Now, did you know that before you qualify for indefinite leave to remain as a skilled worker, your sponsor must confirm they still need you and are paying you the correct going rate? That's the nugget we had earlier in the week. Now, it says in an application for indefinite leave to remain under the skilled worker route, the sponsor must confirm that they require the applicant to work for them for the foreseeable future and that the applicant will be paid at least the minimum salary for the foreseeable future. The applicant would have to show that for the last 12 months, they have been paid the going rate for the role under the law. And this is quoted from paragraph 24.3 of the skilled worker appendix of the immigration rules. And with that, I would want to welcome everybody. And I'm going over to introduce our resource person, our guest, and of course, the person who's going to lead us through our discussion this afternoon. And he's no other person than the principal, the senior partner, and the main bone behind BWF Solicitors, Mr. Bernard Owusu, and we often call him Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kweku.
Well, I just realized that is the first Saturday I'm meeting you in the year 2025. So
That's true, and for a long time as well.
I know.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. When we get you like that, we know you're very busy, but you also have a passion for the community. So when we get you like this, it becomes so how do I put it? It becomes very comfortable for us because we know it's coming from the guru himself. So thank you for coming. Um, I will throw it direct at you that when it comes to the skilled worker route, it's been something you have researched into it. You have used the principles and all the other bits about it to work and supported other people. Now, this is what is coming here. People know that when you are given a contract on the skilled worker route, it leads to settlement, indefinite leave to remain, as people will put it. But then we just realized that it has changed, that it doesn't automatically do that. Then the obvious question, I know somebody put it earlier in the week, what is happening? Well, we're going to know what is happening. Uncle, what's happening?
Okay, well, first of all, let me say good evening to our cherished listeners and viewers. We're grateful that today you've joined us. It's always gratifying to be sitting here
Right.
speaking to the community. And Kweku, thank you very much. I think you and I have been doing this for about 15, 16 years.
Yeah. You know why I'm laughing? Last Sunday, somebody mentioned, I've been here for like 20 years. Then I started calculating. I said, well, I've been here longer than you have been. Yes, we have been doing this, and it's been gratifying.
Yeah.
And I often say that I owe nobody any apology when I vouch for BWF Solace, because I know what you have done and what we have been through. Yes, we've been going from very far.
Yes. So you obviously will be a master of this area. Now, for our community, there are obviously legal issues that is pertinent to most people.
Mm.
But the most common area we gels with everyone is that we are all immigrants.
Right.
And even our children, our grandchildren,
Right.
they will call them first, second generation British citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will refer back to Africa, which is
Right.
where most of us came from. So it's quite important that as a community, we have a pool of resource where we can, take information and just to help us navigate the very difficult area, because if something becomes political, it's taken out of the realm of common sense, humanity, compassion, and we feeling. It then becomes something emotive, and clearly it's used to show who has the best, most difficult, and gut wrenching
Mm-hmm.
policy than the other. So, uh, this is a policy. The work permit is not new. The name has changed to skilled worker. It used to be called tier 2.
Okay.
And a lot of people who stayed here because of their profession was because of the tier 2. And then we've got a skilled worker route. Kweku, if you cast your mind back about 3 years ago, and that's exactly what we're going to do today.
Right.
I did warn in our program, in our other studio, that the new skilled worker route, which has come, especially the areas they've added, which is the care route, carpentry, masonry, building works, electrician, plumber, tiler, and painter, all those areas are very good for our community,
Yeah.
including hairdressing, which part of it has been taken off, but it's still part if you're a manager, cleaning companies, if you are a cleaning company manager, a personnel manager, general manager, or whatever, and those who sell in Dalston Market, those who have the stores, they all can apply for sponsorship line.
Right.
So it's very good for our community.
Yeah.
And I did say that, we should look after it. Now, typical with us as a people, people got greedy, and they got greedy to the extent that they bring people here and they don't provide them with work. Therefore, if you go back towards the middle part of December and put in houses of common care worker visa,
Mm-hmm.
and you will see that all the language in the houses of parliament was about people who are being abused in the care industry. And then they crank up the requirements, refuse them bringing their dependents if you came here after April 2024, which means that if you're on the care route or either as a care worker or as a senior care worker, a 6135 or a 6134, then you couldn't bring. So these were things that they were doing to make sure that they prevent people from abusing the system.
Yeah.
And it affected students, which means that if you're a student and your CAS is not ended or you haven't completed your education, you couldn't switch to the skilled worker
Yeah.
route. It's all to block a loophole. And the loophole is something that our community created, and they abused, the process. So we've raised this particular nugget because I've realized that when we started talking about it, it's just gone 3 years, which means that the next 12 months
Time flies so quickly.
yes, next 12 months to 24 months, a lot of people will be qualifying for indefinite leave to remain.
Right.
I'm aware because every week, every single week, we have a minimum of 5 to 10 people walk into this office and say, I've been brought here, but my sponsor is not giving me work. What do I do? And that is why I said, before we wait for people to have this problem, we're going to highlight the problem now. Because when you know a problem, then you can devise a solution.
To it.
And
Yeah.
for me, I don't like talking about problems if I cannot provide a solution or alternatives to the problem. So for those people who are here, either as skilled workers, usually in the care industry where you're struggling to get work, your employer is not giving you work, the work is sporadic, you don't have a regular income, and sometimes devices are made to ensure that something is done to cover you. We should all bear in mind that when people come here as skilled workers, they qualify after 5 years for indefinite leave to remain.
Yeah.
The rules are very clear that if you are still needed, one, and two, if your sponsor is still on the sponsor list, three, if you've earned the relevant going rate or income over the last 12 months, and four, that you paid the regular going rate for the foreseeable future, then you will get indefinite leave to remain. It's not difficult. The only thing you will do in addition to what you've done is you will do life in UK test. So Kweku is the easiest route to settlement.
That's right. Yeah.
But, and a big but, we know that many in the community are here and they have a skilled worker route visa and they are not working. They're not working with a sponsor who brought them. And therefore, it doesn't only affect the main applicant, it affects the applicant and his or her children. So if the applicant has any children, or the applicant has a spouse or a partner, this does not affect only the applicant, it affects the partner and it affects the children. So everybody who depends on the sponsor will be affected. So let's just pause and review.
Okay.
All that I'm saying is that if you know that for 3 years your employer hasn't given you work, you just managed to get by, why do you have to wait for 2 years and hope that in the last 12 months
It will happen.
it will happen? So this is what we've said. And as I say, with everything we say, we give.
But there are
solutions.
situations where people, we are saying they haven't given them work, but people are given work, but it's not up to the number of hours that was promised or even signed for on their contract. Does that also fall foul of the law as well?
Well, the defining concept is what we call the going rate. So every code or subcode at the standard occupation code has a going rate. If you take the care industry, it's about 24,000. If you take most areas, it's about 38,700. Some 42,700. If you take Minister of Religion, it's just above the minimum income. That's about 24,000.
Okay.
So if your employer is not giving you work, it means you're not going to earn enough to reach the going rate, which is the annual income that you have to earn before you qualify.
Yeah.
So, for example, everybody who doesn't have work, if the Home Office walks in now into your sponsor's office, your sponsor is losing their license, and then you also losing your sponsorship because both of you have committed an offense. You're not doing what you said you're coming to do, and they are not giving you work. If for any reason they can't give you work, they have to put you on the SMS. They haven't done that. So that's a breach, and it's a breach against the reporting condition. And that is why I keep saying that there are many things that you can do. For example, somebody will say, well, what should I do? What you can do is, as I've said in the video, which is already out. First of all, have a conversation with your sponsor.
Okay.
Discuss with your sponsor whether they can do something for more contract so that you increase your hours. For example, if they're only giving you 20 hours a week, you want to be doing what they said you would do, which is why you were given the visa to come here or to extend your stay here.
Yeah.
The other thing that I also want you to look at is if it's not working here, then you have to move on and find alternative sponsors. What for me is important is that once you've been on the visa, let's say 2 or 3 years, if somebody else sponsors you for the last 3 years, you've done 5 years and you will qualify.
Okay. Okay.
The emphasis is on the last 12 months because every person who is an employer knows that when you pay your staff, the system or software you use is connected to HM Revenue and Customs.
Right.
When the employer applies for their license, they put in their PAYE reference number.
Right.
When you make your application, you either put in your NI number or when they give you the visa, they give you an NI number.
Okay.
So the two important details for them to check whether you've earned the money, they've got it.
Right.
They know your employer's PAYE reference.
Your NI number.
Your NI. So what they need to do is that if you go to Section 20 of the Immigration Act, it says the Home Office can ask information from any government agency, including HM Revenue and Customs.
Right.
When you fill your forms, you say, I, Nana Wisu, I give you the authority to make any investigation or speak to any government agency about me.
Yeah.
All they need to do, take a copy of the signature with the declaration, add your NI number, add your employer's PAYE reference, send it to HM Revenue and Customs.
And they will bring out everything.
Oh, yes. It's not a problem. They can easily find out. So for us, what we're saying is that we don't want the community to suffer. So if you know this is a problem, and I know that come next year, from next year, 2026, 27, 27, 28, we'll have a lot. It will become something
an
and
issue.
People will come on video and make a lot of noise about it.
Yeah, I know. And I ladies and gentlemen, when this whole thing started, I think I mentioned it as an introduction, that we warned you that people are taking undue advantage of the situation. So do the right thing. And unfortunately, we're predicting that it may happen to you again. A stitch in time saves 9. What we are saying is, if you are having challenges, you're not getting the number of hours that have been promised, if you are not getting work at all, don't sit down, because whatever it is, it will come to bite you the last 12 months of your 5 years. And as he's saying, the details are there. They just have to have your consent, and that consent you would have signed already. And they will go fishing you out, and you'll be in trouble. How do you navigate out of this situation? I think it's mentioned, but I will go and ask it again. What do we do if I'm not getting the required number of hours? I'm not getting work at all, or I've spent a couple of years on my skilled worker visa. What do I do? Where do I go, Uncle Ben?
Kweku, we come back to solutions. So the first solution is to speak to your employer.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, the easiest one is to speak to them, and then they say, okay, next week we will start giving you the hours and pay you the rate. That solves it. If that doesn't work, then you review your position.
Okay.
1, do I have a skill and an experience or experiences that I can use to set up my own business in the UK and then become self-sufficient and self-sponsoring?
Yeah.
2, am I in a relationship where I can leverage that relationship and become a family member in the UK?
Okay.
3, do I have a passion to go back to education? Because you can go back to student visa.
Okay.
Whether you came here as a dependent or as a skilled worker, you are not barred from switching into education.
Okay.
Then the final thing that I want to raise is that if all this doesn't work for you, would you be able to team up with another person who has the skills, the money, the knowledge, the relevant qualification to set up a business for you to become a sponsored person?
Oh, so then you can decide not to go alone, but form some partnerships,
Yes,
business-wise.
yes,
Then you can sponsor yourself.
yes. I'll give you a solution. Now, if I were to be in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
I have a particular passion for technical things because of my dad. You know,
Okay.
he was an electrical.
I thought you were going to mention the meat one.
So, if I were, and this is something that most people didn't know, I studied BSc, Business Information Technology.
Oh, okay.
So, in my old firm, the software that we use on our computer, Collins and Co., I created it.
Oh, wow. Well, that's something new for us to keep.
Yes, I
Okay.
created it.
Good.
I created a software that way. It wasn't as robust as softwares are now. We pay thousands of pounds for it now from
Mhm.
other people because it's not my field. And for over 20 something years or even 30 years, I haven't done it.
Yeah.
So really, I wouldn't know. But if I were to be in the situation, there's a course I will go and learn. I will only learn it for 3 months. It's called cyber security.
Mhm. Okay.
A cyber security person will get a sponsorship license. You can also create your own business.
Wow.
So, Kweku, if somebody, and listen, I'm throwing business, please don't go and abuse it. My mind is so fertile with business ideas, but
That's right.
my
Yeah.
focus is
Mm.
to law and real estate. But if I were in that situation and I'm struggling, I will look at all options. I then gave a list, almost about 30
Yeah.
areas,
We had a long list the other
including
time.
restaurant, takeaway restaurant, catering,
Fridge repairers,
fridge
TV
repair.
repairers, and
That
all
one
that.
is difficult. But, cake makers, confectioners, bakers, tailors, dressmakers. For example, we're setting up a business for someone who does dressmaking in Ghana. She wants to come here with her children. So we're setting up that business for her. And in a typical year, she turns over $150,000 in Ghana. So it's very easy for us for her to transition. Ghanaian restaurant. And our old, things that we talk about, setting up a butchering shop, specializing in venison. Venison is bushmeat or maybe goat, or whatever Ghanaians like.
Mm.
But there are so many things that
When I mentioned the meat thing, one Taribu sent in a message. I said, "Yes, that's the meat one."
So there are so many things.
Mm.
You see, what really worries me about significant members of our community, we like to procrastinate. That
kind of thing. Yeah.
And therefore, we don't move on. So the risk in life is everywhere. For example, somebody will not fly because they think the plane will fall.
Mm.
But even if you're walking to your house, somebody can drive into that house
And knock you down with a car.
So there's risk in everything. But what I say is that take reasonable risk in your life. So if you're going to sit down, you're going to wait for this to fall on you. I know what's going to happen. You're going to get unscrupulous people abuse you. They will say, I will do something called FLR for you. There's nothing called FLR, which people are being abused to use it. They will say, oh, don't worry, I will put in something for you. They will take your money, and it's not going to happen. We are saying, you've got 12 months, you've got 24 months. Take proactive action. Speak to friends, speak to relatives who are settled here, speak to other people, see whether they've got particular skill they can set up, get a license, and employ you. Can you also go and train? I've mentioned cybersecurity is the easiest IT area in the UK.
Mm.
And you can become a specialist in 3 months. And our own brother Nana Kwame Oti, he's spoken to people. My own friend Sam, he trains people as well.
Mm.
He and his wife went into that business with no knowledge or educational background. They just trained, and you can have an intensive training. And you can do it. But also, I'm also aware that it's not everyone who's educated.
Right.
So some of our community members are here as dependents. They didn't do the English language. They didn't do any test. They are here. They can hardly string two English words together or go to school and do anything. But again, I say that speak to other people who can set up. It can't be any business at all. Any business at all. But please also be prepared to do your own research and also be prepared to use qualified people, because the refrain for most people is, oh, in a lawyer dear nebo in tea while.
When you
So,
pay for quality things, it brings you real
and it comes back to the same thing, that there's risk in everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're taking a risk, you have to take a sensible risk. And for that, this is where we will pause.
I was actually going to say that don't spill all the beans, because definitely there's business out of that. So if you would want to take advantage of the situation and get yourself so fortified that in the last 12 years of your skilled worker visa you don't fall into trouble, speak to BWF solicitors. 0208 493 7340. 0208 493 7340. Well, that's one bit of the updates I was going to give you, and it's taking us quite some time. It's very useful. So I want you to just really take note of that. This video will be on our page for as long as it will be there until the internet falls down. It will be there. So you can go back and view it and also take notes of that and share with your colleagues and friends so that they can also take advantage of that. There is one thing that BWF Solicitors has introduced, and once every month we bring you the segment that says, Know Your Right. Don't go and do the wrong thing. What are your rights? Let's look at this. A UK family visa lets eligible family members join loved ones in the UK for 6 months or more. The visa requirements depend on your relationship to the UK sponsor and specific visa category. Then who qualifies for a UK family visa? As a spouse or partner? And for that, we look at married, unmarried, or civil partners. We can also look at dependent children, that is, children under 18, unmarried, and under the sponsor's care. Adult dependent relatives, we talking parents, grandparents, siblings, or children needing long-term care. Bereaved partners, partners of deceased UK residents with a valid family visa. Then parents of a child, that is parental people with parental responsibility for a child in the UK. Last week, you remember we were talking about sole responsibility and how to prove it and all the rest of it. The BWF solicitors is giving us insight into that, and they are telling us what the rights are. UK spousal visa key requirements. What do we need to have to be able to successfully apply for such a visa? One, you must be legally married or in a civil partnership recognized in the UK. Both partners must be 18 and over. You must pass an approved English language test. Then you must also demonstrate sufficient funds to support yourselves and dependents. Then, again, provide proof of suitable accommodation for the applicant. For these and further details, as I said, you can contact BWF solicitors. UK dependent child visa, the key requirements are: one, the child must be 18, less than 18, unmarried, must have sole responsibility for the child, I mean the parent. For accommodation wise, parents must provide suitable housing according to the UK standards. Then finances, parents must have enough income or savings to support the child without relying on public funds. Adult dependent. You must be a parent, grandparent, sibling, or adult child of a UK-based sponsor. You need long-term personal care due to age, illness, or disability if you can become or you can qualify to be an adult dependent family member, and you would be able to successfully apply for a visa. You must again prove care isn't available or affordable in your home country, and then the sponsor must maintain, accommodate, and care for this adult dependent family member when they are here in the UK. Bereaved partner, the key requirements is that you must already be in the UK. You must have held a valid family visa with your partner. The partner must be a British or Irish citizen and have pre-settled status or has been a refugee. Then provide proof of a genuine relationship before their death. The UK parent requirements, the key ones include you must be at least 18 years old. The child must be under 18, living in the UK and a British or Irish citizen or settled. The child must have sole or shared parental, no, the parent must have sole or shared parental responsibility with a UK-based parent who is not your partner and is a British or Irish citizen, settled in the UK or holds pre-settled status. The parent must show you play or as a parent, you must show you play an active role in the child's upbringing. You must meet accommodation and financial requirements. Then the English language, unless you are exempt from it. Then EX1, parent visa requirements. What are the things we need to have and know? The parental relationship with a UK child under 18. The child is a British citizen, has indefinite leave to remain, or has lived in the UK for 7 years and over. And then it's unreasonable, for the child to leave the UK. Now, the EX1 parents must play an active role in the child's life. You're right. What benefits do you get as UK family visa holders? Visa holders can work in the UK without restriction. If you have indefinite leave to remain, you are eligible after 5 to 10 years. By way of traveling, you are free to exit and re-enter the UK multiple times. Public services, you can access healthcare through the NHS. Then you can apply for your British citizenship after your indefinite leave to remain is granted. Now, a lot of these have been said. You know your rights. You want to know your rights. Sometimes you don't even know. Contact VWF solicitors on 0208 493 7340. If you're outside of the UK and in Ghana, you can call VWF solicitors on 055 589 5959. And in all situations, in emergency situations, send a text, WhatsApp, or call 077 127 61884. 077 127 61884. You can visit BWF Solicitors on their website, bwfsolicitors.com. BWF Solicitors on all social media platforms. You can find us. And it leads me to a very, very interesting video I saw earlier in the week. And I wanted to show you and Uncle Ben and find out. Is it going to happen? Watch this.
Britain is our home. It's not a hotel. It's time to tell the truth on immigration and propose real plans to do something about it. I want to reduce immigration and make living here actually mean something. We need to change the way our immigration system works. So I'm announcing that the Conservative Party is going to do the following things differently. 1. If you want to stay in our country permanently and apply for indefinite leave to remain, the time you have to live here before you apply will increase from 5 years to 10 years. 2. You will have to be a net contributor with a high enough salary, especially if you want to bring family members with you. And if you've got a criminal record, you're banned. 3. If you've claimed benefits or need social housing, you can't even apply. 4. We will increase the time before you can apply for a British passport from 12 months to 5 years, meaning it will take a minimum of 15 years to start an application. 5. If you enter this country illegally or outstay your visa, you will be banned from ever gaining leave to remain or a passport. These changes, on top of a strict numerical cap on numbers, will constitute the most robust changes ever made to our immigration system. Lower numbers, secure borders, and an immigration system that finally works for the British people. This is another step in our plan to control our immigration system. If you agree, join us and let's get it done.
Thank you very much, and welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. I see most of you on the platform BWF Solicitors Facebook, BWF Solicitors YouTube, BWTV Facebook, BWTV, and on Facebook and YouTube, I should say. And those of you there, I will be welcoming you. I'll be mentioning your name, but keep your comments coming. If you have a question, if you have a concern, just express it down there, or you can send it to us via text 07399 208 468, or on WhatsApp as well 07399 208 468. Now, when we get to the point where we activate the phone lines, we will allow you to call in. And Ben is here, and he will be gracious to answer your questions. And the number is 0208 493 7345. 0208 493 7345. Uncle Ben, I saw this video, and the question is some of these things, they come as idea propositions, then they play around it on and on and on, and eventually it dawns and falls on us. Is this going to happen?
Well, Kweku, first of all, Kemi is in opposition.
Right.
So for it to happen, she has to be in government. We are about 4.5 years away from another election.
Okay.
Knowing my party, which is a conservative party, sometimes it causes a lot of havoc within itself, which is basically take each other out. What's happening? I'm not sure people have paid attention. Labour is doing the same, and Labour has started videoing, recording people being detained and removed, just like Donald Trump is doing in America. And for the Labour Party to indulge in degrading migrants who are being detained, searched, and then removed, it tells you how low people have sunk. All this is politics. And I say it's politics because of the uprising of the Reform Party, who the last week and the week before are the most preferred party with about 23 to 24% of the popular vote. And Labour is second, Conservatives are third. The only reason why Labour believes that reform is doing well, they think is because of immigration.
Okay.
But to be frank, what other policies do they have apart from immigration? Let's roll back what Kemi has said. She's a very brilliant young woman who, by dint of hard work, has found herself as a leader of the Conservative Party. And sometimes I feel so sorry for her. It's like she's trying too hard to impress who I don't know. So this might be her idea, or it might be an idea of a group of people who are so influential in the party that now become the opposition political party policy. Let's take what she said. The first thing she said is that UK is not a holiday home. Now, I used to go around the community a lot, and I engage the community. In a typical year, I engage at least several thousand people in a year, and I get a feel of what is going on in the community. Our community members are hardworking. They will work their source of pittance. So I haven't seen any migrant who's had the opportunity to come here, either legally or illegally, and believe that they're coming on holiday and they treat the UK as a holiday home. So I don't know where she got that from. The second part is her pathway to British citizenship. We all know that British citizenship is a privilege and not a right.
Right.
But once you set a rule for a privilege, it becomes almost like a right. So that if I apply for a British citizenship, all do I know is a privilege. You've set the law that if I do this and that, I should be able to have a British citizenship. I know she used the word British passport. And again, it tells you the knowledge that she has. She says it will take what, 10 years or 15 years
15 years.
to get a British passport. Well, she wants to say British citizenship because not everybody who has a British citizenship.
Could it not be deliberate?
Well, I don't know, but people use the words interchangeably, a British citizenship and British passport. So most people in the UK will get their British citizenship after 10 years anyway. And a lot of the people will get their British citizenship after 15 years. So it's already happening.
Yeah.
Why? Let's take it one by one. Kofi comes here. Kofi came here 20 years ago. So Kofi has been given 20 years private life, 2.5 years. It will take Kofi 10 years to get British indefinite leave to remain. Kofi gets indefinite leave to remain. It will take Kofi another 12 months to get British citizenship.
Yeah.
But if you take the time that Kofi has spent as illegal migrant, plus the 10 years, plus the 1 year, that is 21 years. She's referring to people who are coming here as spouses or family members, or possibly even as work permit holders at the area that we've just spoken about, who will get indefinite or qualify for indefinite leave after 5 years. And then after 1 year, they can apply for British citizenship. They are the people she refers to as possibly getting indefinite leave after 10 years and a British citizenship after another 5 years, making it 15 years. Now, let's break it down.
Okay.
Every 2.5 years that you renew your visa, the fee is 3,875.50. Multiply that by 10. That is almost £40,000 for the 10 years.
For the 10 years, yeah.
How many people can save £40,000 for 10 years? Not many. The second part is she leaves out the people who are here for reasons of family. They spouses are British citizens who have lived here for so many years, and putting that burden on a British citizen, because if the wife or the husband cannot afford it, they will have to pull resources together to pay for it.
Yeah.
So already that's a difficulty. When I came to this country, it took you 2 years to get indefinitely. And then Labour changed it to 5 years. It's Labour who changed it to 5 years. And then from 5 years, she's talking about 10 years.
10 years.
But what really, makes the whole thing laughable is the fact that if somebody comes here illegally, they can never apply for a lawful residence. It's not true. If somebody came here illegally, or comes here illegally, the person can always apply for some form of residence after some time, or because of their condition, be it medical or humanitarian protection.
And that's through the long residence route.
Apart from that, that's through the European Convention on Human Rights, to which the UK has signed up to. And, they've been making noises that they want to come out, and they can't come out of it. The other part that she says, that if you have a criminal record or criminal conviction, you can never stay here. But that's the law. The law is there that if you have a criminal record, it will be aggregated, and if it's more than 4 years, then if it's more than 12 months, you're referred to as a foreign criminal, and deportation follows.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what is new with what she's saying. Everything else she said doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for me because of the financial burden that she's going to put on everyone. Because in the long run, if the person can afford it, the courts have said that the Home Office will have to pay for it. So they will have to pay for it. And then the other thing that I also want to add is the issue in relation to she trying to sound very tough and outsmart Reform Party and then the Labour Party.
Yeah.
For us, we say that most people who come here legally. Most people.
Mm.
They come here legally. They come here because they are needed. We know that there's a gap in the market for care workers, and that's why they brought care workers. After the war, there was a gap for construction workers, for people to come and build the railways lines, and they came here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the Caribbean people who came to stay, some from the Indian continent or the sub-Indian continent. They all came to stay. And for me, a daughter of a migrant person
Mm-hmm.
who herself acquired British citizenship by the fact that her father wasn't British, her mother wasn't British, because she was born
here
in the UK. If you want to start with that, start with yourself. Say, okay, me, I give her my British citizenship.
Well, she was born before the new immigration laws came into being. So
I know that she was born in 1981. The law changed in 1983. The Nationality Act came into being in 1981, taking effect in 1983. So anybody born after 1983, because of Margaret Thatcher, you don't get automatic British citizenship unless you qualify through your parents or by some other means. The problem as a community is that for many years now, when we find ourselves, we saw it with Kwesi Kwarteng as well, with this stupid economic policy that nearly drove the UK into bankruptcy, where many people lost a lot of money because of his stupidity. And I say this because people who behave as if migrants are not relevant to this country are the very people who use migrants more. Because when you go to hospital, and I know they're talking about the NHS using foreign-born doctors, if they should sack all of them, it will collapse.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be enough doctors to run the system.
Take your time and go through the NHS website or hospital website, or even just go and say consultant surgeon for, let's say, prostate cancer, breast cancer, brain surgery. Just check the names. Just check the name. A lot of them are foreigners. A lot of them are foreigners. So to pretend that foreigners are the problem for this country, or they are our problem, and including myself, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
We wait to see. I mean, obviously, I don't think she's going to last as a conservative. I think they're going to kick her out after maybe another 12 months. They will kick her out. She's going to go. She doesn't read that. I used to like the former prime minister. I really like him a lot. But this conservative leader, I'm black, she's black, but for some reason, no, it's not because of what she's saying. It's for some reason I really can't stand her. So we wait to see whether she wins power to come to implement whatever she's saying.
We wait to see whether it will happen. Well, that's his opinion and very informed view of the situation. He has explained what has been said. So fingers crossed and see what will happen. Well, we have got to the point where we're going to delve into our main discussion. So send your text, your WhatsApp messages to 073-99208-468 and get ready for us to look at using fee waiver to buy time without making a human application and how it would affect you in the long run. Those of you who have joined us, let me at this point give you that recognition. I know you are all there and you're waiting for me, as we say, shout out to you. Let's pick some of the names and some of the comments we have. Good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, team, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, we appreciate you. Tilly, yes, as usual, kindly share, comment, and like, and we say thank you to you. Next up, we have Abuna Ativo. good evening to you all. Abena, good evening to you as well. Hope you're doing so very well. God bless you and thank you for joining. Ade Taribo, I'm excited for the community and the law program. Yes, Ade, you were talking about the meat business, right? If you have any business idea, listen, Uncle Ben has another passion. Probably he hasn't told anybody, but he has a passion in business development. And if you would want to engage him, please do that before others do and run before you. Yeah, they're terrible. You're talking about the neat one. Thank you very much. Next, we have Freda Moa. Hello, lovely family and friends. Thank you for joining, Freddie. The next one we have is Sandra Fraser, our very own Sandra Fraser. Good afternoon, all. Please share when you join. If you haven't done that, please do that now so that we can have some very good algorithm for our program. Freda Moa, hello, family. Hello to you as well, Freddie. Thank you for joining. Bennett Anson Kramwa. Good evening, everybody. Thank you to you, Bennett. The next one, let's pick a couple and then we will go into our discussion. Okay, so now let's get ready to get into talking application, fees, and your situation. Now, our social media platforms are all there and waiting for you. So let's take that, remind ourselves, then we'll come into the discussion.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340 or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back and thank you for sticking around. It's still the community and the law. And this afternoon, we have the honor and privilege of the presence of the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Uncle Ben, with us as our resource person and guest. Using fee waiver to buy time. What is fee waiver? If we say buying time, what are we talking about? human rights application. I think all these things will be picked, and then Akuben will tell us its relationship to Article 3C, that concession that we have, where when you put in an application, then you know that when the application is there, oh well, they won't tell you to leave because it hasn't been decided and all that. I'm talking about that in simple terms. But will a fee waiver application make you an overstayer? Uncle Ben, is that so?
Yeah, so first of all, let me explain that the focus here is for skilled migrants.
Okay.
So everyone else, please dissuade your mind or disabuse your mind from it. So the focus is for skilled workers.
Okay.
And what we have identified is that skilled workers are using the fee waiver as a means of extending their leave.
Okay.
And the reason why they're using it is because when you make a fee waiver application, although under the immigration, it's not an application per se, or when you look at paragraph 34, it doesn't really say so. But when you look at the fee waiver guidance notes, and the law, the case law says that guidance notes is as good as law. So once the guidance note says something, you can take it as law. Typical example, someone is here, they get a revocation letter, or they are at the end of their skilled worker route or student visa, and then, they haven't got a route to switch into. So this is a non-paid application. And once you make the application, when you have an in-time leave, which means that your visa hasn't expired, your leave will continue on the same basis as the leave you had at the date you made the application. So if I'm applying for a fee waiver today and my leave is a skilled worker route under 6135 or 6136, which is a care worker, my leave will continue as a care worker until they make a decision.
Okay.
And then when you make a fee waiver application, it takes anything from a couple of weeks to several months. So the period that your application is there, you are protected. You will not overstay. And therefore, it allows you to do a lot of things. Typical case, someone promises another person that I will give you a COS. COS is a sponsorship, certificate of sponsorship, yeah, which enables you to apply for extension. So in your mind, you know you're going to apply for another leave to remain as a skilled worker.
Yeah.
But the COS hasn't come. So somebody tells you, use the fee waiver. You use the fee waiver, and whilst you're waiting, the COS is ready and then it's issued to you. But when you apply for the fee waiver, you were only left with, let's say, a week for your visa to run out.
Yeah.
So your application went to the Home Office, and then for 2 months, they haven't made a decision. And then maybe a day or two after that, you get a COS, and then you want to make an application. Or somebody promises you a COS. Then 2 weeks to the time that your visa expires, the COS is not ready. So you apply for a fee waiver. And while the fee waiver is there, you still haven't got a COS. And then 2-3 months later, they make a decision rejecting the fee waiver application or granting it. Fee waiver application, as I said in my first video a couple of months ago, is to enable you make a human rights application.
Okay.
So that should be at the back of everybody's mind. So those who are applying for fee waiver as a parent, a partner, this doesn't affect you. Okay. We're not talking about you. We're talking about those people who have a skilled migrant visa and they want to use it to buy time.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to share a literature with you, and if we've got it, if we can go online. And this is Home Office website, as you can see. The broad name there is fee waiver. What is it called, Kweku?
Human rights based and other specified applications.
Okay, let's go down. Stop there. Click on section 3C. Okay. Kweku, read for us.
It says, regardless of whether the fee waiver request is granted or refused, the applicant will benefit from 3C leave if they had valid permission when the fee waiver request was submitted, and which has expired by the time the fee waiver request is decided. Or if the applicant makes a valid application for permission with 10 working days of the date of the fee waiver decision. And again, if the permission application that is submitted is the one for which the fee waiver request was made. Submission of a further fee waiver request within the 10 working day window will not extend the applicant's 3C leave. So for further guidance on Section 3C, you can find that a leave extended by Section 3C and leave extended by Section 3D in the transitional cases.
So I want us to focus on the third point.
If the permission application that is submitted is the one for which the fee waiver request was made.
Kweku, my grammar is small. So you are the grammar person. Can you explain it to us in layman's language?
So it says, regardless of whether the fee waiver request is granted or refused, you'll benefit from 3C if the permission application that is submitted is the one for which the fee waiver request was made. So it means that if you, as you said in the example of a skilled worker, you are going to apply for fee waiver, but it's for your skilled worker visa, not for any other thing that affects your human rights. So in that case, you don't even come under it and you don't benefit.
So when you're making the fee waiver application, they have options for you to choose. And all the options for you to choose, the only options there for you to choose, every option there for you to choose is a human rights application. A skilled worker route is not a human rights application. So if you choose that you're going to make a human rights application and you wait, there's exceptions. And everything we're doing, we're showing you the loophole. So this is how we work. We try and figure out how to help the community. And we're doing this to help you.
Right.
Okay? Somebody might say, oh, this lawyer is showing them bad ways. I don't mind.
It's not bad ways. It's helping somebody.
We're using the law. The law, as is stated, is what we're using it for. First of all, for you to benefit from a Section 3C, you have to make your application before your visa expires. Section 3C will then extend your leave up until the decision is made.
Yeah.
When the decision is made, they will give you 10 working days to make an application. Please, if you make a fee waiver application and you get a decision, whether granted or rejected, and it says make an application within 10 working days, please make a human rights application.
Okay.
If you don't make a human rights application, that is when the third point will come in. Because when you made your fee waiver application, you stated on the application form that you are going to apply for human rights. What is human rights application?
Yeah, I was going to go.
Human rights application is the one that you discussed earlier about the know your right, the family route.
Okay.
Partner, married, unmarried, same sex, parent, child, extended family member, every application that relates to the family, or an application for long residence on the basis of your time. So 10 years route, 7-year route for children, half age for children, 5 years for children, or 20 years private life. They are all human rights applications. Now, the list I gave, did I mention skilled worker route? I haven't. Yeah. So skilled worker route is not a human rights application. So if you want to use the fee waiver, and I'm saying this because I want my community to be aware so that they are not taken by surprise, so that when you're aware and you go to a lawyer, he will discuss it with you. And if the lawyer doesn't discuss it with you, you have to say, oh, but a lawyer said that if I make a fee waiver application and a decision is made, There's the other option. I'll come to that.
Right.
And a decision is made, and they give me 10 working days. I have to make a human rights application. So when you make your human rights application, as to whether you qualify for human rights or not, all they're saying is that you should make a human rights application. So you've made an application. Dear sir, you've completed your FLRFP. If they rejected you, you're going to pay 3,875.40. Bear that in mind before you start doing this. If they gave it to you, that's not a problem. They'll give you a code, you don't pay any money. But if they reject you, then you're going to pay 3,875.50 to make an application for human rights. You make the application for human rights, but then your lawyer tells you, no, the human rights application, you don't qualify. So what do? You can then switch that application.
Okay. Using the same thing, yeah.
CUS.
Okay.
If you haven't done your biometrics, they will refund your home office fee and your IHS fee. So you will get back all the 3,870. Lawyer, we are bad though. But for me, that is why we do this program.
Right.
I mean, I could easily keep it and not tell anybody. Okay? Not many people will know this, but I've said it. You can share, it's up to you. However, if you make the fee waiver application, and whilst the fee waiver application is there, you get a CUS. Because they haven't made a decision, you can use a CUS. So the only time
so then you ask them to vary or discard the
vary. You've used a word.
Well, I wanted to bring it down.
Yes.
So vary that application.
That's correct.
And switch it to the one you have brought
in. CUS.
That's right.
So I'm going to give you some pointers after I've talked about the other one. Now, when you've applied for fee waiver and you then get a CUS and they haven't made a decision, you don't have to apply for human rights. You can straight away apply for extension as a skilled worker because they haven't made a decision. And I want us to go back to the guidance notes again.
Okay.
Ada, let's go.
So let's pick the fee waiver one that we read earlier on. Can we pick that one up and go over it again?
Okay.
Yes.
So all you're doing is you're relying on Section 3C because you've got 1 day for your visa to expire. So you put in a fee waiver, you get a 3C protection. Home Office might hear what I'm saying. We haven't thought about it. Okay, let's go and add the other one and stop what Mr. Usu is saying so that it doesn't help anybody. That's up to them. But for now, this is what we have. Regardless of whether the fee waiver request is granted or refused. So first of all, granted or refused.
Okay.
So they have to make a decision. So if they don't make a decision, everything they've said, it doesn't apply to you.
That's right. Yeah.
Because of the beginning, regardless of whether the request is granted or refused. Because it can only be granted or refused. So only when one of this happens, that the following 3 bullet points will apply to you. They grant it or they refuse you. If they grant it or refuse you, for you to continue to have the protection of Section 3C, you should have made your fee waiver application at the time that you had leave to remain. 2, when the decision is made, they will give you 10 working days to make an application.
Okay.
3, if the fee waiver application decision is made and you're given 10 working days to make an application, you have to make a human rights application. If you follow the 3 bullet points, you will continue to be protected by Section 3C. And then once the human rights application is there, you apply to vary it, you will continue to be protected. And when you go to paragraph 39E of the immigration rules, that you can take it off. That clearly captures Section 3C as an exemption to overstaying. Everything I've said is to prevent you from overstaying.
That's right.
And the only way you can prevent yourself from overstaying is to follow the steps that I've highlighted, which the Home Office have also highlighted. That you make a fee waiver application at the time that you've got leave. 2, that your fee waiver application, once it's granted, you have 10 working days to make an application. 3, The only time that you'll be protected by the fee waiver in Section 3C is when the application you made or you make is the same application for which you apply the fee waiver for. If not, and you're going to apply for COS straight away, it's not going to help you. And that is why we put this there as today's topic.
Well, it sounds straightforward, but listen, is heavily loaded. The conditions. But then let me go back. That's I think Ben mentioned that I discussed that know your rights. Those bits will help you understand what the human rights application is. If we can quickly pick those on, I think the very first one will help us. There's the last bit telling us to contact Ben. So family members join loved ones in the UK for 6 months or more. The visa requirements depend on your relationship to the UK sponsor and specific visa category. Let's go to the next one. Yes, who qualifies for a UK family visa? Uncle Ben, can we say that broadly, these are the ones that will get us to qualify for the human rights application?
Yes, everything there will. It's a human rights application, but there are extras, which is a private life for children 7 years, 5 years, half age, and for adults 20 years.
Okay, so those of you who have you can ask for these things to be sent to you. Send an email to BWF solicitors and they will help you get the details, or visit our social media platforms. Everything that we're talking about is on there. You can copy and share, or you can use that as a reference point when it is that you would want to understand what the human rights application is. Spousal, partner, dependent children, adult dependent relatives, bereaved partners, parents of a child. Then the private life bit that we mentioned that, and we asked them to give us, Ben and the BWF solicitors family, we asked them to give us the basic requirements, what you need to meet before you can make these applications. So the UK spousal visa, the key requirements. Let's go to the next one, which is the UK dependent child visa. The key requirements are there. The next one, adult dependent family member, the key requirements here. The next one, bereaved partner. These are the key requirements. And the UK parent visa, these are the key requirements. Then the EX1, that is a parent visa requirements for exceptional circumstances there. And the benefits you can get when it is that you have successfully made this application: you can work, you are eligible for indefinite leave to remain after 5 to 10 years, you can travel in and out of the UK multiple times without restriction, you have access to healthcare through the NHS, and then you can apply for your British citizenship when you are successful with your indefinite leave to remain application. Further details, contacts, questions. Yes, call BWF Solicitor 0208 493 7340. If you're in Ghana, 055 589 5959. Worldwide emergency situations +44 77 12 76 1884. Social media platforms, BWF Solicitors is what you're looking for. And remember, we come your way every Saturday afternoon between 4 and 6, and we'll bring you the community and the law. Your questions, your concerns, and then my quiz will come after this break.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. Yes, we've had our discussion using fee waiver to buy time without making a human rights application. Uncle Ben is taking us through the various steps that we need to do and what we need to remember. Well, we're now going to pick up your questions and concerns. The phone lines are active: 0208 493 7345. Or you can send a text or WhatsApp to 07399 208 468, 07399 208 468. Or send your questions and comments to the comment section down below on Facebook and YouTube at BWF Solicitors and at BWTV. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel Akufu on YouTube says, Uncle Ben, Lord bless you for your good work. I obtained my UK citizenship and passport, but I posted my BRP. But the post company can't locate my parcel, which is paid for signed delivery. Know that. What happens if the Home Office finds me because I failed to post my BRP, which is done, but not my fault? The parcel is lost. What do I do in a situation like this?
Well, I mean, if you can trace the parcel as you are doing, then clearly there's evidence that you posted it. I'm not sure they will be interested in following up. Once it's been posted, it's been posted. So I think you obviously have done the right thing by posting it by registered mail. I would not be worried about it. You're a British citizen. You don't need a BRP. Even nobody needs their BRP now. Everybody's using the digital visa. So, Daniel, let's be rest assured and move on with your life. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Uncle Ben. The next one says that Citizen Kwadwo, that's you. I say, or he says, I should say, came into the UK on a student dependent visa and got divorced after some months. I'm in a new relationship, and can I marry in the UK, or do I have to do it at home since I'm still on the same visa? Secondly, if someone is arrested and released without charges, will it impact their future visa applications, or should they select yes if asked about arrests in future applications?
Well, none of the applications that I'm aware of will ask you whether you've been arrested before. It will ask you whether you've got a caution or a criminal offense. If you're free to marry and you're lawful in the UK, you can marry in the UK. So it's no problem at all.
Yeah. Well, the next one here is thanks, Citizen Kwadwo. If you need further clarification, you can call the office 0208 493 7340. How many years do you need after you receive indefinite leave to apply for a passport?
So we've explained this almost every week. First of all, there is a section 6.1, which is 5 years plus 1 year. And then there's a section 6.2, which is 3 years, no other residential requirement. So if you're married to a British citizen, you will come under section 6.2. Once you've lived here lawfully for 3 years and you have indefinite leave, you don't even have to wait for a day. You can apply the same day you've got your indefinite. But those who are not married to British citizens, if you had your indefinite leave today, you have to wait for another 1 year after you go your indefinite leave. And those are the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 020849373345, or you can send your question in the comment section down below. Anita, please, I want to ask, if you don't get your holding deposit back, if you don't, they don't give you a house or a flat, you're looking forward to rent. Anita, it's not too clear, but what I'm suspecting is that you rented a place and you're moving out of it, and your holding deposit is not given to you back. Um, what do you want to do? How do you go about it? And is there a way somebody can claim their holding deposit in full, or maybe
Yeah,
have it
yeah,
in
yes.
parts?
Now, if somebody subscribes to the rent deposit holding scheme, they will be liable for you to report and bring an action against them. So most landlords will subscribe to the rent deposit holding scheme,
Mhm.
and therefore there are specific policies they have to follow. What I'm aware of is that some landlords will use maybe damage that you may have caused, or make an allegation against you.
Mm.
If that is the case, you need to challenge it. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, Kweku, you and I did a program where we said, if you're going to rent a house, take out your phone and take a video of the condition of the
Of the
property.
house, yeah.
So that in future, where there's allegation that you've damaged something, you can use your video to say, no, that was the state of the house or the apartment. Um, so if Anita's deposit is still with the landlord, she is supposed to get it back. It's a legal requirement for her to get it back. The only time that the landlord can hold on to it is if she has damaged something in the property and there's evidence that it's been damaged and it's been brought to her attention. Then the landlord might say, well, I want to use some of your deposit to defray the cost of replacing that item or the fitting. Otherwise, they have to return the money or they will be committing an offense.
Okay. Keep it coming through. Comment section down below. Gifty says, all right, Lawyer Ben, my question is, currently the Home Office is not issuing BRP. How can I obtain my NI after completing my e-visa?
Oh, may Dofo a charm. So once, yeah, I know why she's asking. Once you've done your e-visa, it opens doors to many, many places.
Right.
So when you go on your e-visa, you go to prove your my status. It will ask you, what are you using it for? Work, rent, or none of the above. You take none of the above.
Mm.
It will give you a share code. When you go to apply for your NI, it will ask for your share code. The share code will tell them who you are. It will see your beautiful picture or your handsome picture. I think in this case, she's asking for her husband. Um, so it will show your husband's picture there, and your husband will be able to apply for NI with the e-visa.
Okay.
So create a share code for your husband.
Right. So when you have created a share code, then they don't need to ask you to bring your BRP, your passport of your sponsor or any other thing. The share code should cater for
Well,
everything.
your passport is your ID.
Mhm.
Your share code is your right to be in the UK and to work.
Okay.
So somebody will still want to see your passport to make sure that you are the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm asking this because somebody posed that question. They asked the person to bring the passport of the person she was depending on, and the passport that the person has is an expired one, though not too long ago, but an expired one. Then the dilemma was, can I present that because it's a form of ID, even though expired? Would that work?
No. So an expired passport is not an ID because it's
Expired.
invalid. It may be that you've lost the right to that passport. Well, the only time somebody can ask you to bring the ID of the person you're dependent is if you're a child,
Hmm.
or maybe you made an application under the EU route. But even then, whoever is asking for it, depending on what their purpose is, it's not right. So you can always challenge that. I know as Ghanaians, as a people, we like to famanyame too much. Everything famanyame. So I will say that if somebody is asking you to bring somebody else's passport, well, that person has nothing to do with whoever is asking you to bring the passport. So I'm not sure whether they've got a right to ask for that. I mean, we'll be dealing with all this in the Know Your Right. I'm not sure what topic we're doing for this month, but it should be coming out fairly soon.
Okay. Well, keep them coming through. Uncle Ben is here, and he will help you get. Anita is saying that yeah, this one she was not given the flat, but they didn't refund the holding deposit.
Okay, so again, then it becomes contractual obligation. Now, you didn't get a flat. Why didn't you get a flat? When you were signing to go for the flat, did you sign an agreement? What did the agreement say? So, Anita, you've got my number. Send me any contract or call me after, and then I will check because I think she may have raised it with me before. I'm not sure. Anita and Echa are sisters anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You know the beauty of BWF. Everybody that has passed through their hands, either as a client or somebody who's worked with them and all that, we're all family. So you see, sometimes he will make a specific mention to you, so you feel very important. Join the family. Does it mean that those on health and care visas who applied for fee waiver due to termination of their sponsors' licenses did not get Section 3C leave? Is that correct? Meaning those lawyers, quote unquote, who advised them didn't know that they what they were doing.
Well, I wouldn't say that. So, Nana Echiahene, what I said is that if you want to use it to get a Section 3C, when they make a decision, that is when you have to make a human rights application. And then if you want to switch, you can switch later. But if they don't make a decision, and whilst it's there, you get a COS, then you can switch to the COS. As I keep saying, with every lawyer, our competence and abilities are different. So if a lawyer is advising you, sometimes they don't say everything because they keep it to themselves. But the advice should be to the client, and once they've done their attendance, you have to even confirm the advice in writing so that in future it doesn't create a problem. But it doesn't mean that somebody who applies for a fee waiver must automatically apply for a human rights application before they get protected. If you apply for a fee waiver once you've got leave, you are protected by Section 3C. When a decision is made at the time your visa is expired, whilst you are waiting for a decision for the fee waiver, that is where the problems come. And I'm saying if you want to subject yourself to the protection of the 3C, then you cannot make a skilled worker visa straight away. You have to make a human rights visa.
Okay. So that's that. For further information, as I always say, call the office 0208 493 7340. Christian Afano, if an in-time application is rejected and the applicant is advised to submit a new application promptly to remain in the UK, what is the time frame for doing so? Additionally, since both the applicants and dependent documents expired 2 weeks ago, are they still covered under Section 3C protection? Would submitting a fee waiver application be a better option?
Okay, so if you submit an in-time application which is rejected, we did a program, a shield and not a sword.
Yeah,
you remember?
I remember very well.
So once your application is rejected, you're given 10 working days to submit a new application. If you submit a new application within the 10 days, then you are here lawfully. But that period will not count towards your 10 years. So if it's 10 days, you have to wait for 10 days. It's not difficult, but you will be covered. When the application is rejected, please don't go and apply for fee waiver, because then you are losing your 3C. Because remember that at the time that your application is rejected, your visa would have expired. The 10 days given to you is to make sure that you keep your 3C leave. And that 3C leave will then become a 39E protection under the immigration rules when you apply for under leave to remain or indefinite leave to remain.
Keep it in mind, and let's keep going. Let's see. We've got a few moments. People send this directly to me, so I'll put it on there. Please, my 10 years parent route will end in May. And when can I make the application for indefinite leave to remain, and how much is the fee?
Well, so first of all,
I think there was a follow up. Are there any exemptions? I think there was a follow up question.
Okay. So when you say that my 10-year parent route will end in May, now I always say to you that a 10 years starts counting from the very first day you were given the 2.5 years, not your biometric card. Because anytime you make application, it takes a week or up to a year before you receive it back. The time that the application is being with the Home Office, you are still protected, and it counts towards your 10 years.
Yeah.
So don't look at the card, look at the time they give you the first one. Most people will not have that email. If you use a lawyer, go back to the lawyer, their system should capture it. If it's not there, you can do a SAR, subject access request is free of charge online. They will bring you your file, you will see when they gave you the first, and that's when you count the 10 years. Are there any exemptions? Exemptions for what? Fee waiver? No, for indefinite leave. The only people that get exemption are people who are bereaved.
Okay.
So if you're bereaved or you've gone through domestic violence, then you know you might not have to pay the fees, but else you have to pay the fees. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Let's keep. I think there are a couple of them there as well. Citizen Kwaju, if an in-time application is rejected, I think we have picked this one already. Yeah, we've picked this one already. I think probably it came under a different name. Bridget says, "God bless you for the good work. Please, when can someone come on on a student visa and does not go to school? Should they get a certificate of sponsorship? Will Home Office grant them the visa if they do?"
Bridget, I'm sure you know the answer. We all know that since April last year, for you to switch to a skilled worker route as a student, either you have completed your course or your course has ended. So if you didn't go to school, I'm assuming that you've still got lawful residence. Your course will have to have ended, or you should have completed a course. It didn't say successfully completed. I'm sure that when chemicals, you make you successfully completed a course.
Well, let's pick just a couple of them, and we'll quickly do our quiz. Oh, that's a long one. My friend who is based in Ghana. Oh yes, that was brought in last week, and we didn't have time to do that. Ezekiel, I remember. My friend who is based in Ghana did a distance learning master's degree with a UK-based university. He did all his studies in Ghana, but was given the option by the university to attend his graduation in the UK. He applied for a visa to attend his graduation in autumn of 2023, but was refused under Part V3 and paragraphs 9.71972 and Part 9 of the immigration rules, and he was banned 10 years. The decision was wrong. As such, he issued a pre-action protocol letter to the Home Office. The Home Office acknowledged the receipt of the PAP and responded that they will make a new decision by June 2024. He has still not heard back from the Home Office with a new decision, even though the date they gave him is due in excess of 6 months. What steps should he take to get a new decision from the Home Office to wipe out his 10-year ban?
Well, I mean, what he's done is the best way. Obviously, he's done a pre-action protocol. I've always said that if you back, you should be able to bite. For our people, they like to bark, but they don't like biting. Once you threaten judicial review, you need to go for judicial review. Although the judicial review gave you a remedy, the remedy was that they will look at it. 6 months by anybody's standard. In fact, it's actually 8 months now. It's unreasonable. And if I were you, I will send another pre-action protocol on the single issue that the delay in making a decision is unreasonable. And if they don't come back with anything sensible, issue judicial review.
Okay. All right. Also, Ezekiel, that was, in fact, last week when you brought it, we had just finished the program. So I said I was going to defer it to today. And fortunately, you have had your answer. Now, look at this scenario and see if you can provide me a correct answer. Kofi Green is a sponsored worker under the adult care route. He says his sponsor employer has not been consistent when giving him work. Some weeks he does less than the stated hours on the certificate of sponsorship and the employment contract. Kofi has now been in the UK for 5 years and he wants to apply for indefinite leave to remain. What are the likely challenges Kofi may face? Is it one, as he hasn't earned the going rate under the law, his application will be refused? Is it two, his employer must confirm that has been paid the going rate? Or three, he will not meet the suitability requirements? Very tricky, isn't it? He is a sponsored worker under the adult care route. Employer has not been consistent giving him work. Some weeks he does less, others probably up to the number. It's very inconsistent. He's now been in the UK for 5 years and he wants to apply for indefinite leave to remain. What are the challenges? As he hasn't earned the going rate under the law, his application will be refused. His employer must confirm that he's been paid the going rate, or he will not meet the stability requirements. Think about this for a moment. Get your answers in the comment section or on our WhatsApp and text number. We'll come back and pick them up. Okay. Well, you should have heard the conversation we're doing behind the scenes. Well, what are your answers? Let's see what you have. Configuration situation. What are the challenges? Let's see. Any answers? Yes. Vera says number 2. His employer must confirm that he's been paid the going rate. Grace says number 3. He will not meet the suitability requirements. Marian Adair, suitability requirements, Kofi will not meet. Okay. Vivian Ajay says his employer must confirm that he's been paid the going rate, which is number 2. Eric Fosu says number 1, as he hasn't earned the going rate under the law, his application will be refused. Rosemary also thinks it's number 1. Who else has come up with something? Gabriel Asantin says number 3. Abigail Teta says number 3. And let's take the last one. Ellen Nimako. Okay, Alex Ose also says. Ellen says number 2. Alex says number 1. Because of time, I would want to. Citizen Kojo also says number 2. Rebecca Mwako says number 2. Okay, Tilly also says number 2. His employer must confirm that he's been paid the going rate. Okay, for lack of time, I think I'll pause here. Let me go and see. Let's do some eliminating by rough tactics and see what you can do. I don't know what's the answer.
Well, the first thing is that let's go back to the nuggets. And I put a nugget there.
Yeah.
Did you know that before you qualify for indefinite leave to remain as a skilled worker, your sponsor must confirm that they still need you and are paying you the going rate? So that is what is stuck in people's head. Mm-hmm. But let's read on. In an application for indefinite leave to remain under the skilled worker route, the sponsor must confirm that they require the applicant to work for them for the foreseeable future and that the applicant will be paid at least the minimum salary for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. The applicant will have to show that for the last 12 months, they have been paid the going rate for the role under the law. Let's go back to the question.
Okay. Kofi Green is a sponsored worker under the adult care route. He says his sponsors or their sponsor employer has not been consistent when giving him work. He's now been in the UK for 5 years and he wants to apply for indefinite. So then the challenge is, as he hasn't earned the going rate under the law, his application will be refused. His employer must confirm that he has been paid the going rate. And the third one says is suitability requirements. That's where I have my little doubts. Are they need suitability requirements?
Yes, from most applications, application, in fact, for all applications,
Okay.
including British, there is a suitability
Suitability
requirement,
Okay.
which is standard. And so that doesn't come in because we've not been told about anything that he's done wrong.
Mhm.
The second one is we know that the employer must confirm, but if the employer confirms here that he's paying him the going rate, they are both lying, aren't they?
Because he's not being paid.
Oh, yes. So the answer will be one.
As he hasn't entered going rate under the law, his application will be refused. Well, as lawyer Ben has explained, the law makes that requirement very clear. The Home Office guidance has stated that they will check the PAYE at the His Majesty Revenue and Customs Department to confirm that the applicant has earned the going rate in the preceding 12 months. So even if they go on to say and provide all the letters and the PAYE and all the other bits, do not confirm that they both have lied, and that is also another thing you have to face the law. So it's number one. Well, with that, I would want to say thank you. But before I do that, let me go back to Uncle Ben for him to quickly summarize, as our tradition has always been on this program, the topic we discussed this evening. Okay.
Well, so today we've looked at a few waivers to buy time. I'm not saying don't do it. All I'm saying is that you need to understand what you're doing. It's very, very technical. And therefore, if you make a fee waiver application with a view to get a COS, if a decision has not been made, what you're doing is may help you. But if a decision is made, you cannot make a COS application or a skilled worker route. You need to make a human rights application. If in future you want to switch it because your circumstances change, of course you can. Whilst the fee waiver application is there, if you get a COS, of course, you can apply and switch to skilled worker because the opening paragraph in the fee waiver guidance note says that whilst a decision has been made, whether refused or granted, but once it's still there, then you can make whatever you have to make. Just be careful. For others who are also here as skilled workers, the nugget clearly shows us that in the coming 12 months or more, we're going to have people who will not qualify for indefinite leave and will not qualify for anything.
And just to add to that, if you need any further clarification, any further support, or you want to have a conversation about these things, speak to BWF Solicitors. They're on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218, Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters. Postcode is N15 4NP. You can call them on 0208 493 7340. In Ghana, they are on 055 589 5959. In all situations, emergency situations, 0044 7712 71884. Visit them on all social media platforms at BWF Solicitors. And remember, they help us to have various forms of legal education. Thursdays at 9 o'clock in the morning, Fridays 9:30 in the morning, and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the community and the law. Uncle Ben, thank you very much. We so appreciate your time and we're grateful. And I believe that, like the good of Boise, we will mine and get you back so we can enjoy the bits that you give us all the time. To our lawyers and partners of BWF Solicitors, we say thank you very much to our caseworkers and all the staff, front desk, and the back end staff, both here in the UK and in Ghana. We say thank you very much to Sheila Ankra and Pat Dodu for the admin and the aesthetics for this program, to my producer director, Professor Ade, for your time, patience, and diligence. My name is Oreko Frimpong. Have a good evening. We'll meet again, same time next week.